Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Welcome back, guys. This is going to be video 2 of 3. Did I mention there's going to be 3 videos today? Because, yeah, there are. And as usual, lots to cover, so let's just get in there, shall we? Let's go. We've touched on this before in other videos, but we're about to touch on it again. Meghan Markle has been seen without her engagement ring. Now, this could just be one of these things that she does to get everybody talking and buzzed, and there's really nothing going on. The ring is sitting at home. That's possible. But we had already heard also that she ditched it because she wanted a less flashy look. I don't believe that for a frickin' second. Now, let me remind you, there's been a lot of divorce rumors, and they're thinking that's why the ring is gone from her finger. Also, it came out that she loved the ring exactly the way it was. Do you guys remember watching their engagement interview where she said, oh, it's just perfect. He designed it. It's so special. It's just what I want, etc., etc., etc. Okay, let me remind you. Watch this.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about your ring.
The ring is obviously yellow gold because that's her favourite, and the main stone itself are sourced from Botswana, and the little diamonds either side are from my mother's jewellery collection to make sure that she's with us on this crazy journey together. And
it's beautiful, and he designed it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. He designed it. It's incredible. It's fabulous. It's just what I wanted. But then she started changing it. You guys notice that? So here's the ring exactly as it was when Harry gave it to her. Yellow gold, the diamond from Botswana, and the 2 smaller diamonds on either side. Well, then she gave birth, and then the next time we saw her, she had the band changed, so now the entire band was diamonds, and then she added another band that was diamonds. So for somebody who thought the ring was just perfect, exactly the way it was, she sure has made a lot of changes to it. Now, of course, we've discussed before the fact that she was supposed to have Diana's ring, that when their mother passed away, the boys each got to take something. And I believe it was Harry that took the ring that now Catherine has, and it was William who I believe took the tank watch. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it went. Well, when William went to get engaged, he asked Harry for the ring, and Harry said sure and handed it over, and it went on Catherine's finger. And there were some rumors swirling around that Meghan wanted it, and Harry was actually attempting to get it back from Catherine. I would have liked to have seen that myself. Now, I have to be honest. I think it's poetic that Diana was the Princess of Wales, and now the new Princess of Wales has that ring on her finger. I just think that's perfect. But of course, you guys know a blind item came out. So the rumor is that she damaged the ring somehow. I can't imagine how you would damage it. But actually, she's changing it. So then this popped up on Twitter, and I was just like, what? Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine? Oh, my. Yeah. All right, let's move on. All right. I just wanted to touch on this. Tom Bowers said that Harry and Meghan are going to find a new platform for their headlines because that's their entire meal ticket. I believe that's basically what they're doing with the ring. You know, she just takes her ring off for a few months and boom, there's headlines, and that's their whole thing. So it's saying that they're going to create crisis and sensations in a bid to remain relevant because everybody's in a speculation about what's going to be their next move. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, moving on. All right, this is an old article from 2021, but it came up and it just caught my attention because basically what it's saying is the reason Harry and Meghan stepped back was because she could not stand being second to Catherine. And since she gave Catherine a knife for Christmas, that pretty much says it all, huh? All right, let's move on to one of our big stories for today. Here we go. So we know that when Harry joined Better Up in 2021, he wanted to help people, he said, with their mental health. And they took a picture of him and they put it up on his profile page on Better Up's website. The problem is it's so photoshopped. They made him paler than he ever was. They made his eyes pop out of his face. They turned his hair from red to brown. This is so obviously photoshopped, and people are like, are you kidding? Like, here he is at Polo just a few weeks ago. The man has obviously had hair transplants. You could see the marks on the side of his head. This is a guy that really is so concerned about his hair loss, it's become a running joke. Now, one of the reasons why I just look at this and go, are you kidding me? Is because in the spare, he made numerous jabs at William for losing his hair. He said William's hair loss was alarming and more advanced than mine. Well, yeah, he's 2 years older than you. So I love what Megan's Mole wrote here. What you wished you looked like versus what you actually look like. Exactly. I mean, seriously, you guys. Are you really ready? On Twitter put up this post. Like, guys, I mean, a UK cosmetic surgeon claimed in 2021 that Harry's hair loss has accelerated since he moved to the United States with Meghan, and they're saying that he'll be virtually bald by the age of 50. I believe it. Here's where I think the whole problem lies. William looks like his mother. Harry doesn't. I think Harry wants to grab his mother for himself. You know what I mean? All right, next story. Stories are coming out now saying that Meghan is in competition with Harry. And what that's talking about is while he was in Tokyo and he was doing all this stuff for Senabale and he's making all these appearances for the philanthropy, summit, all these things he's doing, Meghan's doing pap walks. Meghan's going to lunch with her friends. Meghan is trying to take the attention away from Harry and what he was doing. Same stuff that the two of them did with William and Catherine. And people are saying that that's happening because she's slowly cutting herself away from Harry. You don't have to come out and compete. But she doesn't want him to get more attention than she does. She's used to him being like a servant walking behind her. She's not going to let him take center stage. It's totally pathetic. I completely agree. People are talking about, for instance, when he did the spare, she was nowhere to be found. Let there be negative publicity, and she's not there to support him. She's only there for the good stuff, which is why she's showing up for Invictus. She's showing a total lack of support for him during sorrowful events and joyful events. Very telling. There you go. All right, moving on. This article came out saying that the Invictus Games was the best thing Harry's ever done, and this documentary is going to be just so fabulous, and it's going to, blah, 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 blah. Here's my issue. First of all, for those of you who are unaware, he stole the Invictus Games from the Warrior Games in the United States. And for those who say he didn't, he even said so in an interview that he got the idea for it from the Warrior Games. So yes, he did. He stole the idea. But everybody's like, well, this was his. No, it actually wasn't. If you look on the Invictus page, it clearly shows that William and Catherine and Harry all did the Invictus Games together. They were responsible as much as Harry was for starting the Invictus Games. Harry wants to claim it's all him, but that's not true. The other issue is, and I agree with Lord of the Manor here, the Invictus Games may be affected because there's so much personal toxicity and crap going on with the two of them. Now, one of my subscribers, Mindy Rolston, put this up, and I agree with it 100%. She pointed out, rightfully so, that no one involved with the Warrior Games takes home a paycheck because it's not about them. It's all about the wounded veterans and their families and doing what they can for them. That's not what's happening with Invictus. No, at the same time, one of my subscribers wrote and said, doesn't Invictus have a voting board? Because Harry and Meghan are so toxic, they're affecting attendance and viewership. Absolutely they are. And finally, this subscriber of mine pointed out that the IMDb cast and crew that I showed you the other day, the only cast member listed is Harry. What happened to the veterans? Spot on comment. All right, you guys, that is the end of video 2. Don't forget to come over now for video 3. Here we go.